Hi all, welcome back to my channel. So far on this channel, we have learned about time complexity, space complexity and how to analyze the code. Now it's time to move from theory to problem solving. Today we are starting a new series on sorting. But we are not starting with the bubble sort or merge sort. Instead, we are answering a much more important question, that is, when should you even think about sorting in a problem? Most beginners learn sorting like this. Step 1, they learn any of the sorting technique, let's say bubble sort. Step 2, they'll memorize the code. Step 3, forget when to use it. Trust me, even I am one among them. That's not how interviews work. In interviews, no one asks, do you know bubble sort, do you know in session sort, etc. They ask, can you solve this problem more efficiently? That is what it matters. So, what sorting actually does? Sorting does not magically solve problems. Sorting does one powerful thing. That is, when data is sorted, similar values come together, comparisons become much easier, patterns becomes more visible. So think of sorting as a tool, not as a solution. So let's analyze three cases where we can understand how we can use sorting and when to use sorting and when not to use the sorting. So let's jump into the first case. Let's say you are given an array and asked find if there exists a pair with sum equal to some x. So if the array is unsorted, definitely we have to check each and every pair. That is, in the same array, if you see, for 5, I need to start another loop from 3 to 1. That is, I require 2 loops, which will definitely lead us to big of n square time complexity. And this works for small inputs but fails badly for large ones. Here now the array is sorted. So now we can use some optimized techniques like two pointer technique where the one pointer will start from the first index and the other one will start from the end, that is the last index. Now we move these pointers based on one condition where we will search whether we can find a pair which equals to the sum x. And when these two pointers cross each other, we can say that there is no such pair found in this array. So this is how we move the pointers, and we definitely sure that we can complete this in a single loop which finishes in big of n time complexity. So here sorting really helped us to reduce the time complexity. So the key insight is sorting is very useful when order helps us to reduce the comparisons and you want to avoid nested loops, and definitely you have to apply techniques like two pointers, binary search, etc. after the sorting. So, sorting creates structure. Now, let's see the second case where sorting is not needed. So, let's consider this example where an array is there and now we have to find a maximum element in the array. So, just think of whether you really need sorting here. But trust me, even when I started my coding journey, I thought of making every array sorted first and then which simplifies our logic. But that's not the case because I have explained you the time complexity and how we can compare the time complexities of different algorithms. Now that plays a major role here. So if I have sorted this array in ascending or descending order, I can just pick the element of the first element or the last element based on my ascending or descending order of sorting, which I will think it's like very easy method where I can find the maximum element. But the time complexity here would be big of n log n. I have taken the most optimized time complexity of merge sort, so that's why it is n log n. Now let's see the other way, that is, we can find the maximum element without sorting. That is, just by looping over all the elements in the array and just keep a temporary variable and then compare each and every time whether the element is greater than the previous one or not. So here we are just using a single for loop, then the time complexity would be big O of n. And if we compare big O of n and n log n, it is definitely n log n is much more than the big O of n. That is, here we definitely don't require sorting. So the key insight which we can take from here is never sort by default. So before sorting, just ask yourself what advantage does sorting gives me here. So if the problem needs only one pass or just needs only counting or just needs only hashing, then sorting is a waste. Now let's see the other example where we have sorting plus grouping. So now the problem statement here is we need to check an array if it contains duplicates or not. So here we have an array. Now without sorting is definitely we have to compare each and every element, so we definitely require two for loops here. So one for loop is for each and every element to traverse, and the second for loop is the element adjacent to it. So definitely here we require two for loops. So which will definitely lead us to big of n square time complexity. So now let's see the same example with sorting. We can see that similar values have come together, which we have discussed earlier. So now if we run a loop across this array and just compare its neighbor elements for each and every traverse, that is for first index I'll compare with the second one, and for the second one I'll compare with the third one. So just we are comparing the neighbor elements and we are checking whether it matches with the previous element or not. So here we require only single for loop, so which will definitely lead us to big of n time complexity, which is much more better than a big of n square. So here sorting really simplified our problem. So let's jump to our last section of this video, that is how interviewers really expect you to think. In interviews, they mostly look for, can you really think of a brute force approach first? And can you see where it fails? And can you use sorting to bring order, or can you reduce the time complexity with the help of the sorting technique? So this three really matters a lot. They really don't care if you memorize the code, if you know many sorting techniques like algorithms, etc. They really care if you reason correctly and use the best optimized version of the brute force approach that you have given. So to conclude the video, I have just made a golden checklist where before using sorting, just ask these questions. Will order help simplify my logic? Will sorting reduce my nested loops? And can I use some optimized technique after sorting like two pointers or binary search? So if yes, sorting is really a good choice. So now that you know when to use sorting, in the next video we will start with the simplest one, that is bubble sort. Not just how it works, but why it is slow and where it still makes some sense. I hope this video really helped you think differently about sorting. Remember, algorithms are just tools. Thinking comes first. See you in the next video. Thank you.